Hello, hello, Facebookers. Welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, from wherever it is you are. Good morning. If you're just joining us, do me a favor and make sure you let me know who you are. I like to know exactly who we've got on the line, as we always have done on Periscope. This is our first official Facebook Live, moving over from Periscope to here. So good to join with all of you. So if you've just joined the line, make sure you comment in the box. I can see a few people online now. Tell me who you are. I want to know what your name is. So down the bottom, if you haven't used Facebook Live before, it's new to Australia, obviously. Finally, it's available on Android. So I'm excited to be here. But down the bottom in your comments box, if you swipe it, it'll also give you, all the emoticons, like, love heart and like and all those kind of things. So give me a comment, let me know who you are. I want to know who it is that we've got on the line, and then we'll get started in a couple of minutes. We'll just give everyone a minute or two to get their notification and to join us here. In the meantime, make sure you make a comment, tell me who you are and where you're from. Oh, you got it, Sarah. Hey, awesome. Sarah from Adelaide, awesome. So do me a favor, tell me your name and where you're from. What city, what country. And hopefully all of our Periscope viewers have got the message and they move over to Facebook Live with us tonight. But if not, they'll catch on at some point. So if you just joined us, we're not going to get started for another minute or so. So just go ahead and make a comment. If you haven't used this before, now's your time to practice before we really get started. So I want to know who's on the line. I can see we've got viewers, but I don't know exactly who you are. Maybe I just haven't worked out how to see that yet. But I can see once you make a comment. So go ahead and make a comment and tell me your name. Or just say hi and your name will automatically come up. Let me just see something. Awesome. All right. All right, make a comment or, hey, Shan, good to see you. I know you could never really get on Periscope, so Facebook Live hopefully should be a bit easier for people. And it's definitely easy to get the notifications. So if you just joined us, tell us, say hello or say something so I know who's on the line. Hey there, Kim. Good to have you with us. All right, we're going to get started in 30 seconds. If you haven't already said hi, please make sure you do down in your comments box. Say hello, or maybe make a comment on what city you come from or what country, so that I can know who's on the line, because I can see we've got viewers, but I don't know who you are, and I like to know that I'm talking to people on the other end there. For those of you that haven't used Facebook Live before, it's pretty new to Australia. So if in your comments area, if you swipe that box, it'll bring up your emoticons. So just like on Periscope, you've been doing the love hearts and tapping the screen. Here on Facebook Live, I guess it's how you communicate with me. So if I was, standing at the front of an audience and you were in the audience, I would obviously be able to see your body language and get a bit of communication from you, when you raise your hand or clap or whatever. So your way of communicating with me is to use your emoticons, just like we have on Periscope. So if anything I say, like you like, or it's resonating with you, let's make this a conversation, all right? Just like we have on Periscope. And for those of you who never joined us on Periscope, this is a conversation, not a presentation, all right? So I want you to comment all the way through. Feel free to ask questions. I'll answer what I can, and we'll get this done. So I'm going to get started, and those who miss this live can obviously see the replay, and the replays don't expire after 24 hours, I believe, on Facebook Live. I think they're always available. So welcome to all of you. If you've just joined us, I see a heap of you have just joined us now. So do me a favor and make a comment. Go down to your comments box. Just say hi. All right. I just want to know who's on the line. I can't see who's on the line unless you make a comment. So don't be rude. All right. Go ahead and make a comment. All right. Now we're continuing. This is now our third week, I think, in the What Not to Say series. Firstly, I do want to say thank you. I want to acknowledge a whole heap of you that have sent in your stories and your feedback. Hey there, Luke. It's been a million years since I heard from you. So go ahead and, there's been a lot of people that have sent in a whole lot of stories lately on all the language that I've been teaching for the last couple of months that's really working in a profound way with their families, with their children, even amongst, partners and spouses. So thank you for that. It really does make a difference. And I tell you something, when you send in those stories, whether you do it on the Facebook page or whether you do it, privately to me, it doesn't just stay with me. When I'm working with other families, I tell them your stories. I might not say your name. Obviously, I keep private information private, but I do tell stories. And because of your story and your testimony, other people, other parents have more of an ability to believe, and they have more courage to try new things. And so I want you to know that, all of you that are sharing are making a really big difference to, a lot of families out there. So I really do want to say thank you. So as part of the What Not to Say series, tonight I'm going to cover the topic or the words that quite often we use as parents. I'm sick and tired of seeing that. I'm tired of seeing you behave that way. How many of you say that? All right, now here, we're really open here. If you haven't joined us before, we're very open on this platform. So how many of you find yourselves constantly saying, I'm tired of seeing that. I'm sick and tired of seeing that. I'm sick of you seeing you do that. Don't let me see that again. I'm sick of hearing you speak like that. Don't let me hear you speak like that again. All right, and so I want to discuss, and I'm going to do a little bit of personal development for you as the parent tonight, okay? Because when you find yourself saying this statement, or even thinking this statement, but me too, I used to a lot, and you know what, even now sometimes I think it, and because I've been able to practice for a long time, now I can just catch myself consciously. So I want to make it clear that, being a perfect parent isn't about parenting perfectly. It's not about perfection. It's about perfect effort. So, it's not to say we don't stuff up. It's not to say that we get our words right every single time. But we make the effort to. We make the effort to remain conscious. Or after we've stuffed up, we have that conscious moment where we're like, oh no, I shouldn't have done that. I should have handled that better. That conscious moment makes you perfect. All right? So I want to make that very clear. Now, so saying things like, I don't like what I'm seeing, and I'm seeing way too much of that. I'm tired of seeing you behave that way. My message to you really is, because my message to you, first of all, is to have that conscious moment with yourself that says, well, why do you see them that way? Because each of us see things differently. We don't just see things with our eyes. We don't just see what happens, okay? What happens is every single thing that we see through the filters of our own past experiences, of all of our value systems, of our attitudes, of our beliefs, of the way that we've been programmed. And so there's what happens, then that stimulus or that information gets filtered through all of our filters, and then we give meaning to what happens. And so my question to you as a parent is to stop, my statement, first of all, is to stop saying that, because, in that moment, it is essentially just your perception, okay? If you're tired of seeing them that way, then why do you see them that way? How about you try seeing it differently? And I really want to talk about, being able to parent from a new perspective tonight, because perception is a choice, all right? Your perspective on a situation is literally a choice of yours. And just by being, how you see your children is not fixed, okay? For example, one person sees an outspoken little brat, the next person sees a leader. One person sees, a troublemaker, the next person sees a child who's screaming out for some love and some affection. And so what is it that makes the difference? It's not the behavior is the same, the child's the same. The difference is your perception, right? Now, is that making sense so far? If it is, give me some feedback, all right? You can't just sit at the other end and watch this with no feedback, because I want to make sure that this message really gets to you tonight. So if you understand what I'm saying, either give me a thumbs up or a love heart or something, or a comment or something, so that I know that you're understanding at that end. Because if we were in an audience right now, I would obviously be able to just ask you the question and get you to raise your hands. All right. So when you find yourself then, hating seeing something that way, I'm going to ask you to make the conscious effort for the next few days or the next week, because to really be conscious of your own perception. All right. Now, I know. Am I coming through okay at that end? Because I just got a message saying my connection is weak, but now it's fine. Is that okay? Am I cool? Yeah? All right, now, perception is critical. Your perception is critical, not your child's behavior. Your perception of their behavior is critical. No, there is love heart tapping, Alex. You scroll your comments to the right or to the left or something. I don't really know. Like, you scroll your comments box, and then it gives you all the emoticons. You can do like, love heart, haha, whatever you want to do. All right, so you can use all the emoticons. All right, now, so your perception is critical, because how you see what goes on in your family affects how you react to it. Oh man, I don't know where. Can someone tell Alex where the laugh out button is? I don't know how to explain it. You swipe the comment box to the left or to the right. Oh, there you go. Everyone's doing laugh hearts now. Can you see that? Somewhere. All right. So let me just stay focused here. Perception is critical because how you see what goes on in your family affects how you react to it. If you choose, I'll give you another example. If you choose to see your kids cheating, let's say they're playing a card game or a board game and one of them cheats, if you see them as a cheater, then you're more likely to punish and to blame for that. But if you see them as a child who values winning over honesty, then you will have more of a problem-solving approach to it. You'll be like, okay, you value winning so extremely, so you have a need to win so badly that you're willing to cheat for it. So I don't see you as a cheater. Now, I want to say this quote here. Here's why I'm going to ask you on your child's behalf to start being conscious of your perception and to changing that before you address their behavior. Here's why. Because here's one of my favorite quotes. See a man as he is, or see a child as he is, and he only becomes worse. See a man as he could be, and he becomes what he should be. All right? So, if you see your child as they are, guess what? If you see them as a liar, as a cheater, as a procrastinator, as a troublemaker, as a whatever, they're going to live up, our children live up to the expectations we have of them. And, they basically determine their self-worth based on our belief system of them. That's what the words that we use with them become their inner voice, and that's what shapes their self-worth, their self-belief, and determines how much they're able to love themselves and accept themselves. So, if you can't see them as better than they are, who will? Because at the end of the day, here's the truth. The troublemaker uses the troublemaking act. The bully uses his bullying act. The liar uses his lie or her lying act. But we know that we are more than our behaviors. Your act doesn't determine who you are. It never ever determines your true value. The way that you behave does not determine who you are or what kind of value or worth you have. And so if you can't see them as more than their act, who will? If you can't see them for a person beyond who they're displaying themselves as in that one moment, who ever will? And you know what? They will grow with that belief. They will go, you know what? If my mum believed I was a liar, if my dad believed that I was a cheater, then I guess that's what I am. So now you put a limit on how I'm able to behave because I've got to basically live up to that expectation. Okay, you've just given me a ceiling as to who I can believe I am, essentially. So I'm going to ask you in any moment to see them as more than that one behavior. So if they're doing something that you don't like, rather than telling, I'm sick and tired of seeing that, be surprised. We've gone through a lot of language, and if you haven't been able to join us on Periscope, I'll quickly recap it tonight. But, for example, let's say they do something you don't like. Instead of addressing the behavior you don't like and reminding them that that's how you see them, give them a sentence of how you really choose in that moment to have a new perspective and see them as more than that behavior they just showed. And so when they show that behavior, be surprised. Go, wow, I'm so surprised by that. I don't see you as someone who cheats. I see you as a very honest person. Next time, I'd like to see you use your honesty and value that a whole lot more than winning. Because what I believe is more important is being honest, not winning. There's a difference between coming first and being a winner. The biggest winner isn't the person who comes first. It's the person who can play fairly and lose and still congratulate the one who came first. Just because you came first, it doesn't make you a winner. So see them, and you know what? I see you as a winner. Whether you come first or second or last, I see you as a winner. And so I'm surprised that you took a dishonest approach by that. Because what I'm saying is, I expect more of you. I don't see you like that. So using the words, I'm surprised. I'm surprised by that behavior. I'm surprised that you're hitting and that you're using your body to hit and to, hurt people lately. That surprises me. Because I just see you as someone that's able to deal with things more effectively and that's able to process your emotions and to maybe talk about, what I'm seeing, see the truth. If they're acting out, why do you act out? Why do you act out? Why do you lose it? You know why? Not because you're a bad parent and then you want to hit your child and hurt them. Why do you lose it? Because you're so full of anger and frustration you can't hold it anymore. It's an outward manifestation of a true feeling. And so when your child does that, see them like that. What I'm seeing isn't a bad person who hurts people. I'm seeing a person who's bottled up with hurt or fear or frustration or whatever it might be. And I'm seeing a person who might need my help on how to deal with things a whole lot more effectively. Second lady, hey, there's my man. His name is Mr. Wilkins. He's one of my the most profound mentor I've had in my life. Good to have you on the line. All right, so that's my message to you tonight, and I'm going to close off there. I like to keep these all very short, okay, so that you never have a reason to not get on. You never have a reason to not get on. I want you to, really make a decision to invest this time into your family. So tonight, as part of the What Not to Say series, rather than just giving you a new word to say in place of it like I have in the past, tonight the deal is this week you work on you. And you stop seeing your children for, you stop seeing them for their behavior and you see them as they are. So what I want you to do is separate the deed from the doer. Don't see the behavior, not the child. Don't label the child with their behavior, because you are always more than your behavior. You're always more than your choices. That's not the realness of who we are. So see them for who they really are. See them for what they're really asking for. The love, the attention, the affection, the need to be noticed. See them for that, rather than, I'm sick and tired of seeing this. I don't want to have to see that again. Well, you don't want to have to see that again? Don't see it again. They can display the same behavior, but you can see something different, because perception is your choice. So you actually get to see their behavior any way you want to see their behavior. You get to choose how you see their behavior. All right? Their behavior isn't what controls what you see. Your perception is what determines what you see. So I want to close out again with that quote I mentioned earlier. And in fact, it was Mr. Wilkins right there that taught me this, and he told me, many years ago, and I use this in every area of my life. Use this with people, not just with your children. Use this with people. See a man, see a person, see a child, see a soul. All right, but in this case, we're talking about your kids. See your children as they are, and they only become worse. See them as they could be, and they'll become what they should be. So as I always say, we're going to finish this off. And as I always say, never leave here the same person you were when you got on. So as you depart from here tonight, don't just get off and be done and go back to who you were before you got here. As you depart from here tonight, depart from here with courage. The courage to believe in a better way. The courage to voice what you've got to say. The courage to thrive when times are tough. And above all else, the courage to know you are good enough. Good night, everyone.